Hi, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to receive this Faculty Diversity Award. I've been teaching at UNC for the past 10 years, and issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion have always been at the forefront of my mind. This work has been especially important because of my field, German studies. When I first began learning German, I didn't see a lot of people who looked like me, either in the classroom or in the textbooks. In fact, I started learning German not because I had a familial connection to the language or because I'd been there before. I just happened to hear German in a movie, thought it sounded interesting, and decided I wanted to learn it. I think what helped cultivate my openness towards other cultures was my family's background. My parents are both Caribbean immigrants. My father's from Jamaica and my mother's from Barbados. Both immigrated to Chicago in the late 1970s, and I was the first person in our family to be born in the US. Growing up in an immigrant family definitely gave me a greater sense of how big the world was. My older relatives were always talking about back home, an elusive place with which I had no associations. Our house had a revolving door for relatives visiting the US for the first time or for newly arrived immigrants who needed some support before they could get settled. And it was always exciting to get a package from a relative overseas, coconut candy from Barbados, or some hard to find sneakers from England. Thus, I grew up with a constant sense that the world was much bigger than my neighborhood, my city, and even the US. I long to travel abroad and see the rest of the world, and German has helped me accomplish that. Part of my diversity work here at UNC has been about making German studies a more welcoming and inclusive space. With my courses on the Black diaspora in Germany and on Turkish German culture, I hope to show students that German is not a so called white language, as so many people may assume. Rather, contemporary German society is in fact very diverse. Many people of color in Germany face the same kinds of discrimination we know here, are fighting similar battles, and even look to the US for inspiration in that fight. Furthermore, scrutinizing issues of race and migration in Germany can teach us some interesting lessons about the US. A lot of the work I've been able to do across campus, organizing events like a symposium on Afrofuturism or film screenings and Q&As with Black German artists, have been possible thanks to the support I've received from several centers like the Center for European Studies and the Center for Middle East and Islamic Studies. And luckily, I've also been able to continue this work on a national scale. As a committee member at the German Studies Association and the Modern Languages Association, and as the vice president and soon to be president of the Association of American Teachers of German, or AATG. Just last year, in fact, we were able to receive enough votes at the AATG to create a new position for an officer for diversity, equity, and inclusion, along with a committee. For me, the structural change is just as important as changing the curriculum and changing what's on the syllabus. But my diversity work reaches far beyond the confines of my discipline. Being at UNC has allowed me to give back to the academic community by working as a mentor for the Moore Undergraduate Research Apprentice Program, or MURAP. Through working with MURAP during the summers, I've had the pleasure of directing research papers on everything from Mexican revolutionary literature to Haitian postcolonialism. And my work in diversity would not be possible if I didn't have both the support of my department, Germanic and Slavic languages and literatures, and that of all the colleagues and friends I've met across campus with whom I've worked in different capacities, such as Michelle Berger in Women's and Gender Studies, and Courtney Woods in Environmental Science and Engineering, with whom I was able to co teach a course on intersectionality, sci fi, and film. Both Kia Caldwell in African American and Diaspora Studies and Tanya Shields in Women's and Gender Studies helped me co-organize a faculty working group on Afrofuturism and Afropessimism for several years. And some of my co-mentors in MURAP have been just as inspiring to me, like Ariana Vigil in Women's and Gender Studies, Rosa Perlmutter in Romance Studies, Charlene Register in Triple AD, and Carlos Slocum in Geography. I know I've not been able to name everyone who has either inspired or aided my diversity work, but I want to name at least a few people to demonstrate what a strong community I found at UNC. As a working class kid from an immigrant family, I especially hope my work at UNC shows underrepresented students that even if academia hasn't historically made space for us, we can make that space ourselves. Thanks again for the award.